Hello, homeschool friend. Wow, hello, neighbor's dog. We're gonna review Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons, over 1 million copies sold, because this is a great resource. Spoiler alert, I think this is a tool totally worthwhile, hello bird, to have in your homeschool arsenal. So we have gone through it probably over the last 2.5 years. My little guy who's going into grade 2 is at the end. My little guy who's going into grade 1 is just starting it. Both of my kids really like this resource. I have several other friends in our homeschool co-op using it with their kids. They all really like it and have had great success. There's only one little girl I know of who's tried it and says, it's too ugly. It is basically black and white with some pink writing. So if your child likes very visually stimulating, appealing things, this might be too ugly for them. But the book starts out nice and easy. There's an introduction for you to read. It's very straightforward, a nice pronunciation guide. They use a lot of little graphics like this. So ing has an umbrella over it, or the font, the way that they put the T and the H together, just so that you kind of know, okay, this is what we're doing. They also have a chart for the parents, a sound writing chart. So lots of good resources from the get-go, especially if you've never taught reading before. I know I don't know, at least for me and most of my buddies, super daunting, right? I don't even remember how I was taught to read. How am I gonna teach my kid? So you can start this. This is lesson 4. You can start this with your kid with very little, if no introduction, even to letters. So they start with A, S, M. You're gonna say the sounds, then the child is gonna pronounce it. You might practice that sound writing aspect. And then there's, quite simply, ma, the child does some practical pronunciation. That's the part my kids loved. Oftentimes we would skip the preamble of like, let's say it this way, let's write it this way, let's rhyme it out. They just wanted to trace the finger and kind of get it over with, but they enjoyed it. So it starts nice and easy, simple words. And then within a few lessons, you get into cute, funny little stories and sentences. So this one, for example, the rat is sad. And I found with almost every little sentence, they have little graphics. My kids would find it to be hilarious. I'm like, what is funny about this? I don't get it. I guess I don't have the 5 or 6-year-old humor. The one thing that we really liked was you can see when a vowel says his name, when a vowel is silent. They have their own special when the vowel is, not vowel, when the consonants are, what do they call that? Digraph? Whatever that is, where they are like stuck together. So it has its own special font in the book, and that just made it really, really easy for us to get through it. The only thing that I didn't love about that is when I tried to do other books with my older son, he'd be like, where's the special font? I didn't think he'd pick up on that, but of course he did. You know, the silent E wasn't small, or the ing didn't have an umbrella over it, and he didn't like that. It was kind of sketching him out, like this is outside of the familiar. So we decided to just kind of stick with this book and finish it all the way through. So you can see a lesson like lesson 59, a little over halfway. It's getting more challenging. And they're already doing a couple paragraphs with a funny little picture. And then there's always a comprehension element. Of course, like for us, we'd talk about the picture. I didn't always read these prompts. You know, what did you see in the picture? Let's answer some questions. What's the bug eating? What were they surprised about? Let's do our sound writing. Yeah, so you can kind of, I think, use this resource to whatever extent works for you and works for your kid. What I like at the end, and they warn the children, we're gonna start getting rid of our special font so they can read just regular font. They don't have all those prompts with, you know, the hard line over the vowel who says his name, etc. So yeah, long story short, awesome resource. Within 100 lessons, they're just reading these big, beautiful pages. It was amusing, and you can go as slow or as fast as you like. So with Samson, we started this in kindergarten, but because we're doing a Waldorf approach, I really wasn't concerned with having him needing to read anytime soon. So we've just slowly meandered through this for 2.5 years. But I know people that aced this in kindergarten or even pre-K and, you know, use this at 4 years old and their children are, you know, in grade 1 at a level 3 reading. So yeah, depending on the method that works for your family, you can go through this quickly or you can just like hop around the marigold bush, but it's a pretty good resource. Okay, good luck on your reading journey.